The story of the Bible, from creation to redemption before the first dawn. There was God. No stars, no sound, no shadow, only the eternal Word, and from that Word came everything. The heavens, the earth, and the story that would unfold through time, the story of us. This is the story of the Bible. Not just a book, but a divine thread woven through history, from creation to redemption, from the dust of Eden to the glory of heaven. The beginning. Genesis and the beginning. God created the heavens and the earth. With a word, he spoke, and reality obeyed. He shaped man from the dust and breathed life into his lungs. Humanity opened its eyes. Beneath the light of love, a garden was planted, Eden, a paradise of peace and purpose. There Adam and Eve walked with God, unbroken, unashamed. He gave them freedom, but also choice. And in that choice came the first fall. Tempted by the serpent, they reached for the fruit forbidden. Trust turned to pride. Innocence was lost. And so man left the garden, not forsaken, but followed by grace. The fall and the flood outside Eden, the world grew, and so did sin. Violence, greed, pride, a world forgetting its maker. Yet even in wrath, God's heart broke for his creation. He called a man named Noah to build an ark of mercy in a storm of justice. Rain fell for 40 days, washing the earth clean, but when the waters calmed, a dove returned, olive branch in its beak, promise in its wings. And God said, "Never again will I destroy the earth." A rainbow appeared, the first covenant of hope, the call of Abraham from the dust of nations. One man was chosen, Abraham. "Leave your country," God said, "and I will make of you a great nation." Abraham believed, and that belief became the seed of faith. From him came Isaac, then Jacob, and from Jacob 12 sons, 12 tribes, the beginning of Israel. Through them, God began a plan not to save one people, but all people. Joseph, from the pit to the palace among Jacob's sons, was one, Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, but never forgotten by God. Through hardship, faith shaped him. And from prison he rose to power in Egypt. Second only to Pharaoh. In famine his brothers returned, and mercy met guilt. What man meant for evil, God meant for good. Forgiveness restored a family, and the promise of God moved forward. Moses and the Quote. Moses and the Quote. Exodus. Generations later, the children of Israel were slaves in Egypt. But God heard their cry. He raised a deliverer, Moses. Through plagues and miracles, God's power shook the empire of Pharaoh. By the blood of a lamb, death passed over the faithful, and a people walked free. At Sinai, thunder rolled as God gave his law. 10 commandments written in stone. Truths meant to teach hearts how to live in love. But even then, the people wandered, and so did their hearts. The kings and prophets in time. Israel asked for a king. First came Saul, strong but prideful. Then David, the shepherd boy who became a man after God's heart. David's son Solomon built the temple, a dwelling for the divine, among men, but the nation's heart strayed again. Idols replaced faith. Pride replaced gratitude. So God sent prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Elijah, and many more, voices crying out, "Return to the Lord." They spoke of judgment, but also of hope, a coming Savior, a king not of this world, the birth of the Messiah, And when the time was right, he came, not in thunder, but in whisper. Not on a throne, but in a manger. The Word became flesh, Jesus, the Son of God. He walked among us, healed the broken, fed the hungry, forgave the guilty. He spoke not of power, but of peace, not of law, but of love, the cross and redemption. But the world did not understand him. Light came into darkness, and the darkness struck back. The innocent was condemned. The healer was wounded. The Savior was crucified. And yet, this was the plan. For in his death came life. The cross, once a symbol of shame, became the bridge back to God. 3 days later, the stone rolled away. The tomb was empty. Death was defeated. Grace had a name, and that name was Jesus. The church and the mission from that moment. A new fire spread. The followers of Christ carried his word to every land, through danger, persecution, and time itself. They were the first church, ordinary people. Extraordinary faith, the letters of Paul. The Acts of the Apostles, these became the living testimony of a faith that could not die. The story does not end in the past, for it is still being written. Revelation speaks of what is to come, a new heaven and a new earth where sorrow fades, and God wipes every tear away. The final chapter is not destruction, but restoration. All things made new. All hearts made whole. The Bible is not a book of rules. It is a letter of love, written by the author of life to the hearts of his children. From Eden's loss to heaven's promise, one truth endures. God has never stopped reaching for you. So open its pages. Let its words breathe light into your story, because the greatest story ever told is still unfolding in you. The Bible, one story, one love, one God. Subscribe for more stories of faith.